This tutorial will explain some of the features of Worldbook online. This is the home page. You can see that it's got the option of choosing timelines, kids, student, advanced, or a Spanish encyclopedia. The kids version is really intended for kindergarten through 5th grade, and the advanced version is usually intended for high school students. So for this tutorial, we'll focus on the timelines and also for the student version. First, we're going to take a look at what timelines could offer you. When you click on the timelines, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get on the left-hand side some broad subjects. And what you could do is decide if you're a science teacher, obviously you can click on science and technology and take a look at some of these subtopics. And let's say we'll click on astronomy. And then it's going to come up with even more subtopics over here. So if you're doing milestones of moon study or Sir Isaac Newton, advances in space exploration, let's try that one. And you'll see it populates the timeline, and all the timelines will look like this. They all have a date in red and a little summary of what happened at that date. You could scroll over and keep looking at other topics that happened. There's also this toggle button, which will either expand the date range or narrow the date range. So if you just want to focus on a small time period, you could do that as well. You can see when you click on one of these magnifying glasses, it's just going to take you to the same thing with the dates, a little summary, and sometimes there'll be a picture or illustration available as well. If we go back over to the main page, you can see that there's a lot of topics here that you could choose from. So whether you're an art teacher, an English teacher, a science teacher, a math teacher, a history teacher, there should be some sort of timeline here that would be helpful for you in your classroom. The other nice feature is the create a timeline over here. So when we click on that, this could be something that could be used for an end project, or it also could be used in your classroom for just a fun activity if you're studying a certain time period. So for example, let's see if we're going to do New Jersey governors, and we're going to create a little timeline of New Jersey governors. Once we're at the screen, you could see you could start creating events. And let's say we want to put in the first governor, who was William Livingston. And he was governor from 1776 to 1790. And if you want, you could add a picture of him in here just to make the timeline look a little bit more interesting. And click create. So it's going to put him right in here, and you could see if you type it, if you go like this with the toggle bar, it will make the date more narrow. Let's say, just to put this into understanding the events of the time, we put in also that when the Revolutionary War took place, and we're going to put in here 1775 ending in 1783. And hit create. Okay, so now we'll be able to see both of these topics right here. So this could be a fun thing to do in class as well. Okay, now we're back at the main page for Worldbook timelines. And what we're going to do is we're going to go back to that first page we were in, which is Worldbook at home. And we're going to take a look at the student feature. And this is basically the Worldbook encyclopedia that we all knew as kids online. And this is really a good place for the students to start their research because the articles in here are written for their age group. They're very easy to understand. If there's not enough information in here, there's always the opportunity to look elsewhere for more information. But this is a very easy to use interface for middle school students. And over here, you'll see what the homepage looks like. It's always got a different featured video. It's got information about research tools. It's got behind the headlines, so whatever's going on in the news right now might show up right here. Over here, you could explore different countries or the world. Down over here are the most popular articles, and these are the most popular articles that I had searched. And over here, we have the Biography Center and some fun quizzes and activities. So for this example, let's just again search Revolutionary War and see what shows up. Now you see here there's 660 items, much more manageable than what they would get if they search Google. And on the left, it will narrow it down by tables, sounds, historical maps, pictures, videos, back in time, etc. So let's click on this first article. That's American Revolution. And you can see it's a decent article in size, but it's not unmanageable for the students. On the left, again, this is almost like a table of contents. So if they know that they need information about the Sugar Act, they can just click on it and go straight to that part in this article. If they want a picture of the Boston Massacre, they can click on that. So there's ways to narrow down this information so it doesn't seem overwhelming. And over here, this is how you would expand it. Down at the bottom, it provides the citation information for them in MLA format, which is very helpful for them. And again, this also tells you the Lexile measure, so it will tell you if it should be understandable for them or not. You can highlight the search term in text, so that will help them find the keywords that they're looking for. There's also ability to save their research if they log in or email themselves the article. So again, this is a very easy to use encyclopedia for students. One other feature I just quickly want to point out is the educator tool. So if you click on that, and we found that at the bottom of the page, you can search the New Jersey content standards by grade. So let's say we did 7th grade, and let's say we picked social studies. And just give it a second while it loads. And you can see the standards are all here, and anything that is hyperlinked will take you to materials within Worldbook that would help fulfill that standard. So if we click on this one, examine the ideals found in the Declaration of Independence, you'll see all the articles that would be related to that. So I think this could be helpful as well. There's also lesson plans and some other professional links. If you need any help using this resource, you could always contact us in the library and we'd be happy to help you.